and welcome to another fabulous episode of Thyroid Refresh TV, a podcast dedicated to helping you live a thyroid healthy lifestyle. We're so glad to be back with you again on this special end of year show. I'm Danna Bowman.
And I'm Ginny Maher, and we're the dynamic duo behind Thyroid Refresh and Thyroid 30. And as Danna mentioned, yes, we are going to be doing a 2020 year in review for Danna and Ginny, for Thyroid Refresh, for health trends. We're going to be covering all kinds of interesting ground. We did this last year, and it was one of our most popular episodes. And we all know 2020 has been quite a year, to say the least. So, well, the challenges of this year have been different for everyone. Everyone has been impacted. So I just want to start out by saying welcome. And I hope that wherever you are safe and okay, and you have food to eat and you're healthy and all of those things. Danna and I are always sending so much love and healing energy your way and into this community. And we just want to start with that virtual hug to our amazing community, because we know it has been a challenging year for all of us.
To say the least, right?
Yeah. And whereas we usually feature guests from the big wide world of thyroid healthy living on Thyroid Refresh TV, today we are the guests. So here we go.
Welcome. Again, as Ginny said, this is our 2020 year in review. What's worked, what hasn't, new trends, new challenges, all those things that make up the thyroid healing journey. And we're going to be doing a bit of a hot seat interview on each other. So it's going to be lots of fun. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
First, before we dive in, I want to insert a little disclaimer, because Danna and I are going to be talking today about interventions that we've personally made to optimize our health. We might mention supplements or medications we've taken, but keep in mind that we're doing this with proper testing and guidance from medical professionals, and every body is different. So what might be right for us could be wrong for you. And in no way is Thyroid Refresh TV ever meant to be used as a substitute for proper medical advice. We're sharing our own experiences as thyroid patients for informational and educational purposes to help you learn about different options and possibilities that are out there. So if anything here feels pertinent to your own healing journey, please do take note, but discuss it with your doctor before implementing. Okay, we've got a lot to cover today, so let's dive right in. Danna, first question. What was your biggest win and your most epic fail of 2020 on your thyroid healing journey?
Well, let me just say, first of all, that there were lots of wins and there were lots of fails. It was a really crazy year. But one of my biggest wins was more self-care and more intentional quality time with my family and even friends. We learned how to work around things, and we also got together with friends that had been social distancing, and we did our things, separately. We learned how to work that out because it was so important. After the quarantine, we realized, oh my goodness, being away from people is great because you don't want to get sick, but completely cutting other people off, now that isn't working. So we found, clever ways to get together, and that made me feel really good because you started realizing how important other people, quality time, intentional time, was, and a little more self-care routine kind of things that I got to do and spend more time kind of developing. I have a little morning routine, a little nighttime routine. I have a routine with my son. And those are definitely things I wouldn't have been able to do without this crazy, crazy year of 2020.
So true. And a great silver lining, isn't it? I mean, we all know so much more just how innately social we are as creatures.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And my biggest, fail has been weight, and it's not even a fail. It's just, it's for me, I know that I feel better when I'm eating better. I know that. And yet I still let my guard down. So for me, gaining some pounds, of course, I don't like the way I look in the mirror as much as I was, but it's more, I don't like the way I feel. And so I want to be healthier. And so I'm definitely disappointed in that. But I'm, intentional about changing it. So that's the good part, the silver lining there. And also, I had started this no sugar routine and I had done it for about 3 months. And when I say no sugar, I still was eating fruit and all of that stuff. I wasn't down to the hardcore no sugar, but I had gotten away from Cokes and, all the uh, white sugars and processed foods and processed sweets and all of that kind of stuff. And so I was feeling really good. And then I went to visit family and, kind of fell off the wagon. And, my biggest thing has been Coke. I love Coke. I know it's not bad for me. I have seen the meme. I have shared the meme. I know it is not good for me. And so it's just my weakness. It's my one little terrible weakness. And I love drinking Coke. So I know that's it. That's me. What can I say?
You'll get back there. We've been on this journey together for a while, and we both have had our moments of falling off the wagon. And I know I'm right here beside you, and so many others are as well with the pandemic weight gain. It is hard when we've lost so much of our routines and our gyms and I just don't get out and move as much as I used to because I'm not so on the go. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just a common thing that we all have to be extra self-accepting and compassionate with ourselves about right now.
And I am being, but we were asking for fails, and that's definitely one of mine. Okay, Ginny. All right. I'm out of the hot seat. It's your turn. Biggest wins, most epic fail 2020. Go.
All right. So my most epic fail, why don't we start with that? I don't know. I mean, is this a fail? I don't know how much control I had over it, but maybe it's just my biggest challenge. I'm dealing with frozen shoulder right now. And one of the things I've learned about frozen shoulder is that we are way more prone to it as thyroid patients. Anyone with any kind of endocrine disorder, including diabetes, hypothyroidism, hyperthyroid conditions, that is a risk factor for frozen shoulder. And frozen shoulder is where the shoulder capsule, the ligaments thicken and the shoulder freezes. I have an extremely limited range of motion. I'm about 6 months in, but this whole process of where your shoulder is freezing and then frozen and then thawing, that process can take up to 3 years, I've heard. So I am actually about to have surgery. By the time this airs, I will be recovering from surgery. So I'm manifesting a positive outcome. I'm using my positive affirmations because, of course, I'm a little scared. As a mom, I think, when you're a parent, you really have a different attitude. I have had surgeries before being a parent where it was like, well, if something happens, I lived a good life. I mean, when you're a parent, that whole thing is totally different. I have to be okay. So yes, I have some anxiety around that, but I've just been really using some affirmations and mantras about, this is part of my journey. My body knows what to do. It will heal. I have great resources. I am capable of this recovery, all those, positive things. So it has continued to teach me, some good things on my healing journey, but I am looking forward to being on the other side of frozen shoulder. Not fun.
One of the things really quickly for you to add to some of your affirmations that I find really helps me is at the very end of I'm healing, I'm well, my shoulder is awesome. At the end of all of them, say beyond my wildest dreams.
Okay.
Beyond my wildest dreams. Yeah. So it's not just, it's going to heal. It's going to heal beyond my wildest dreams. So add that. Okay. And also let's do a before and after. Let's show everybody how your shoulder looks.
Yeah. If you can see, I mean, most of you are probably listening to this. So I can lift my right arm. What is that? About 6 inches off of when it's hanging at my side and then I lift it, I can lift it about 6 inches.
Yeah, so try it just so you can see. That's not very much, Ginny.
My other arm goes all the way up.
All the way up.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So it's a little bit claustrophobic, I did some videos on this on our social media. So we have an IGTV video. If any of you out there are dealing with frozen shoulder, check out our Instagram. IGTV, I do a video that goes into more depth on that. I don't want to linger on it too long, but that's been my biggest challenge. And in 2021, I am going to be done with it. I'm ready. So happy to be ending the year with some, moving towards resolution. My biggest win, I would say, has been biohacking some adrenal issues, my hair shedding, which is always like one of my most persistent symptoms, and some of my other symptoms with the help of hair tissue mineral analysis. This is an incredible diagnostic test that is available to us where you snip a little lock of hair close to the scalp and you can get months, you can look at the last several months of what's going on in your body with your mineral levels. It can show how your thyroid's doing. It can show how your adrenals are doing. It is complex. I worked with one of our amazing contributors, Angela Brown, who's a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and a physical therapist and a thyroid patient who has totally biohacked this stuff. She's a huge fan of HTMA. And not only that, she really knows this test inside and out and has helped me a lot. And I'm really starting to see results. So I'm pretty excited about continuing this journey with making changes based on the results of my hair tissue mineral analysis test and getting another test, in a little while to see how much progress I've made, because it will show in my hair growth. And then, the bottom line with that hair tissue versus blood is that whereas blood or, urine or saliva, for example, our bodily fluids might show where we're at a certain point in time. Mm-hmm. Whereas our hair can show what's going on over the course of months. So I think that's one thing that makes it so valuable. So we would love to hear some of your biggest wins and epic fails. If you have some, I don't know, maybe horror stories or huge epiphanies or something else to share, we'd love to hear. So drop us a line at hello@thyroidrefresh.com. Okay, moving on. Danna, what is the weirdest thing you tried in 2020 for your thyroid health and wellness? Because we're both pretty open-minded. We've tried it all. We're like, hey, let's give it a shot. So what's been your big thing in 2020?
And if something ever happened and I got diagnosed or something crazy, I would be the one in the Alaskan waters doing the freezing cold dip, or I'd be in the Himalayas jumping off I'm the one that would be trying it all. So
You'd be out there with Wim Hof doing your polar plunge, and
yeah, I'd be doing it. But this, I have been doing frequency therapy for about 8 months. And I've also got involved with the business because it really changed my life. It got rid of my migraines, which I had from when I was younger. And of course I had done all the things. I had done the CT scans and the MRIs and the magnesium and the no eating chocolate and the watching my food and the exercising and the sleep and all the things. I wasn't expecting any kind of results. I was just open to trying it. And I woke up one day and my migraines were gone. It was like,
which is miraculous, because in the 4 years we've been working together, it was like pretty much every other meeting you'd mention, oh, I have a migraine. Yeah. But you'd say, I'm a professional. I've had these my whole life. Right. It was just like a constant for you.
It was.
So to say that they're now gone is life-changing. That's got to be just, yeah.
It is truly amazing. And also it's helped with my brain fog. And I had, again, been doing all the things, right? I hadn't done the hair tissue mineral analysis with Angela Brown. And so that's something that I want to continue to work on because I know it will help. It will help me more, especially with blood sugar and just, some imbalances in my adrenals and all that stuff. But my brain fog was still not very good, and my concentration and my memory and things. And it's a noticeable difference. I did notice it getting even better when I was watching my sugar more. But it jumped from, let's say I felt like, I was living my days at 40%, doing all the things. And then I started trying frequency therapy and it jumped to, 85%. that I was, living my life. And so, yeah, that's a pretty big jump.
Wow.
So it's been absolutely an incredible journey. It also helps me sleep. I've been sleeping 7 and 8 hours a night, uninterrupted. Jenny,
Wow. That's another
come
miraculous
on.
thing for you. Yes, you have had some sleep challenges for sure.
I can fall asleep anywhere. I just can't stay asleep.
Hmm.
And, I have to get up and go to the bathroom and that kind of thing. I've been able to sleep. I've been able to sleep 7 and 8 hours. Like it's
Yeah. I mean,
definitely helped
I
me.
rarely see emails from you anymore that get sent out at 1 a.m.
Nope.
or
Nope.
5 a.m.
Right? Because my schedule, it's really
because you're
helped me
sleeping,
that
which is
much.
great.
I have more energy. And it's helped with my allergies, and it's got a whole slew of things that it can help you with. So it's
Okay, so
been,
frequency specific microcurrents.
well, it's actually individualized frequency microcurrents. It's
Okay.
based on the frequency specific microcurrent modality. So it's just one, but the
Okay.
company I'm working with, they are about to increase to the double frequency so that you can call it that. But just the one individualized frequency microcurrent has helped me tremendously. And it also works with vibration and energy healing. And, I've heard about that before, distance help and things, people helping other people because of their vibration and you know, their bioenergetic field, right? We're all electricity. So, this device has really helped me on so many levels with a couple of different modalities. So it's
Maybe
been
tell
amazing.
people a little bit about what it looks like to use your frequency healing device. Like,
It's a little compact device. It's, I don't know, 2.5 by 2 inches. And they have different programs, like my son uses an acne program. There's a migraine program. There's several sleep programs. There's a mental balance, several mental balance, skin, healing wounds, all kinds of stuff. And you have leads, so cables that you have little wristlets that you snap on your cables and you plug it into the device and you can wear it. So I would mow the lawn when I was outside with wearing it as well. And then it also has another application that you can do, and it's just a vibration, so it just sends out good pulses, waves, frequencies, you know um, long distance. And also, like, while someone's in the room, I can do some work on my pets, and they're just launching something new for pets January 1st. It's specific for pets, so it's just got this whole thing. And my favorite part about it is that there is no ingesting. That's it.
mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
just no ingesting of any. And I take my pills and supplements, and I probably always will. But for this kind of healing, you don't have to take any pills. It doesn't have to go through your system at all. So it's definitely, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but
Yeah.
it's definitely the healing of the future. So I've been very lucky and blessed.
Well, and if any of you listening want to know more, you can reach out to Danna at thyroidrefresh.com to
Yeah.
find out more about that. And yeah, I mean, sure, it falls into the woo-woo pile for sure, but I have witnessed these changes in you, and I'm very intrigued. I'm definitely very much paying attention and listening, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it's kind of an exciting new thing in health and wellness. So
Definitely. Okay. Well, it's your turn. We both like woo woo, so come on.
okay,
Come on.
so 2020, the weirdest thing I implemented in 2020, I would probably say earthing. Um, I know I've heard other people talk about this year how much they reconnected with nature. We were at home. We were pretty much all at home, and I'm lucky to live in a place with a yard. I know not, some of us are in more urban environments and things, but I spent probably 8 hours a day in my yard this summer, which also happened to do with the fact that we got a new puppy, Riley. Yeah. So I
Riley, right?
had to be outside, but also just the minute I walk out the door, I have noticed my whole vibration just calms. it like steadies my heart rate. And I can almost feel that, like, people talk about like electromagnetic frequencies in the house because of like our Wi-Fi and things like that. I mean, you can almost just feel this buzz just calm down the minute I walk out the door. So this summer, I was more intentional about really going a step deeper with that and started a morning routine. I guess that was kind of one of my other big wins is I now have a morning routine, like a regular morning routine, which I'm pretty excited about. But part of that in the summer when it was nice was I would go out and do some body work in the morning, barefoot in the grass. Maybe some downward dog, maybe just some deep breath, some breath work, some sun salutations. Maybe I would just stand there and do kind of like a standing meditation. Sometimes I would just lay in the grass, and it again falls into that woo-woo pile, but there is something about when we connect with the earth that I feel is like fundamental in us as human animals, and really helped me calm down and relieved a lot of anxiety that had come up because of the pandemic. So I would say earthing is not only the weirdest thing I implemented in 2020, but one of the most successful. It's really, I feel like a regular part of my thyroid healthy lifestyle, but I haven't quite mastered how to do that in the winter. I still, make an intentional point to get outside in the winter because even just the fresh air, the walk, the sunlight, watching the birds, listening, using all my senses, being mindful outdoors in the winter still does the same thing to a degree. But yeah, I'm not laying in the snow right now.
No, no. And Ginny and I are very similar with this. I have done a lot of grounding. I don't know if I spent 8 hours like Ginny did this, during the pandemic and this whole 2020, but I go out intentionally every day. In fact, I was out a couple of days ago and it was like 42 degrees. And I went out in the grass with no shoes on. And I told myself before I went out, I'm not going to be cold. I was like, I didn't start going out with freezing, right? I had this mindset like, I'm going to go outside. I know that I need to earth. I'm not going to be cold. I'm going to stand there as long as I can. I just did a standing, just breathing. I didn't do anything big. I do play with my kitty cat. She thinks it's time to play when we go outside in the grass. So I played with her a little bit. So that's a good thing. And I mean, I'm going to try and do it even when it's cold. I mean, if Wim Hof can stand out there in the freezing cold and do his breathing and be totally fine, it is possible. And the human body is amazing. So I'm going to try and go outside. And if I get as much snow as Jenny, I'm going to try and stand in the snow. I'm also going to do it right before my shower. I've planned that. I've already planned that if I know I'm going to take a shower and get warm, take a bath, whatever it is, that I'm going to try and intentionally go outside and stand for as long as I can. So that's my pact. So it definitely helps me too, Jenny. Seriously.
I love that. Great ideas. Yeah. And I do try, if I go outside, say to sled a little bit with James and I get my snow gear on, then yeah, I will totally lay in the snow, sit in the snow, roll around in it, play with the dogs, play with James, and that does help even with clothes on. I know with earthing, it's like some people, even like I've heard of people in Manhattan and stuff having like a tray of dirt, a tray of soil that they will stand in. And the emphasis is really on connecting your skin with the earth. But I don't know. I feel like it helps. It's something and it's helpful and it makes an impact even when you have clothes, snow pants and long underwear on.
Tree, right? Lean against a tree. Touch a tree. Hug a tree.
Yes.
Touch the plants and things. I mean, and it's a really good idea to do it before the shower or the bathtub.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to get warm, right? So
right. Well,
being cold is a big thing. I have cold feet, as a thyroid patient, and so I get
there's
it.
a lot of biohackers and wellness experts out there who are really big on that whole thing too, with the hot cold therapy and alternating, cold showers, cold to hot, as a way to like flush our systems and
Mm-hmm.
invigorate our bodies. Okay, so we talked about us. We started on a micro personal level. Why don't we go up to 30,000 feet and talk about some of the health trends of 2020? Let's look back and talk about what were our most and least favorite health trends of 2020. I'll start because I have some opinions about this. My least favorite health trend of 2020, I don't know, maybe you can't call it a health trend, but one of the phenomenons of 2020 in health and wellness is fake health news and fake news in general. And I think there is a real problem that we're facing as a society with social media and the kind of and even search engines and the kind of information that's being spread, the kind of information that's being censored, with the pandemic.
Censorship is huge.
This is a huge, I know we're going huge. This is a huge topic and a huge problem. And I see it really kind of coming to a head and a crescendo where it has negatively impacted our well-being from that micro personal level to a national level, to a global level, to a planetary level. Like, this is an issue. And it's a real problem on social media. I was very disheartened to see so many people in the health and wellness space trying to cash in on this by spreading misinformation, conspiracy theories, and things like that. I feel it's highly unethical. And, it's not about, free speech. We have dealt with this as a health and wellness business where it's become difficult to even have a place in like the search results. So it's a very complex issue, and I don't have it figured out and I don't have the answers, but I have seen the way algorithms have completely changed the industry and have silenced some and have also given a bigger microphone to others. And I think it undermines our well-being.
And for me, the biggest part that really bothers me, Ginny and I have our own opinions, of course. The thing that really affects me more than anything, me being a Libra, is the censorship. I have done a lot of research. I know I'm a thyroid advocate. I'm an investigator. I've had to be, right? I'm a, advocate for myself now. I've taken the reins, as Ginny says. I've taken the reins of my health. And so I don't want to not be given information with the thought that I can't make up my own mind. I know when I see some fake news, I read through it. I look at the links. I discern. I do as much as I possibly can. I'd rather have the information for me personally than it being censored, because the censorship is going way overboard. And the good information that's out there, that could be out there, is being hidden.
Right.
And a lot of our stuff is really good information, and we are not being shown in the search results. And I find that to be very, very difficult to live with as a person with free speech in the United States, that you can't find some really good information when you're looking for it. It's very frustrating.
It goes both ways. It's both the censorship and the, bad actors being given a bigger microphone, because what it results in is more time on platform, and more time on platform means more ads. And this is about a business model for a lot of these social media platforms. And we've talked a lot about that documentary, The Social Dilemma. And I think that documentary does a really good job of highlighting some of the fundamental issues here. And I agree 100%. So many of our colleagues, and these are good, well-meaning, well-intentioned, science-based health and wellness professionals out there, they've lost 60%, 80% of their traffic. I don't know if you guys have noticed, if you do a search on some of the biggest search engines for anything health and wellness related. Pretty much all you see anymore is Mayo Clinic, Harvard Health, WebMD, and nothing against those platforms, but it used to be a more level playing field. And that the fact that it isn't anymore is having some very real consequences in the world.
There is someone that's come to mind that Ginny and I both have had an experience with, that is out there, that has a big platform, and time on platform is a big thing and is kind of misleading with the information that's being put out there on that platform. And, what's frustrating to me is that do your research, look at these people, right? Mm-hmm. What do they do for a living? What did they do for a living? How did they get to that place? What makes them an advocate and an expert? Listen, do some thinking of yourself. That's one of the things, free thinking and all of that. Growing up, we weren't taught to think. We were taught to memorize answers and all that stuff. So do that. Mm-hmm. That's your right to think about some of the stuff and ask some questions. So for me, one of the biggest things of the year is to ask questions. Mm-hmm. Always be looking and learning, ask the questions. COVID this, COVID that, vaccine this, vaccine that. As your own person, as your own body, ask the questions. That's what I'm mm-hmm. teaching my kids. Just because it comes from this source, you do the research, do the questioning. It may take a little longer, but ask the questions. If it comes from this resource and do the questions, ask the things. That's the biggest thing that I can tell my kids. It's not just to take something at face value, to put your own brain behind it, right? Mm-hmm. Because I feel like, we're smart enough. We can do this.
I believe that. And I think the message to our community is also just encouraging everyone to be mindful consumers. Mm-hmm. And that goes beyond just, the dollars we spend in like a retail fashion. That goes mm-hmm. towards the information we consume and how That's we consume right. information. Are we giving our eyeball time to mm-hmm. too much sensationalized, divisive information, unreliable information? It's like the whole doom scrolling phenomenon. Mm-hmm. When we participate in those, because we can't just point the finger at. No, it's Facebook, or it's all of us. It's all of us participating in this. There's still, it's like the Roman Colosseum. We bought tickets to go see the gladiator get eaten by the lion. And there's something innate in that in our human nature. But I think we have to be mindful about what kind of information we feed ourselves and what kind of information we consume, what kind of platforms we support, how we interact with different platforms, and also, just supporting the platforms that help us so that they can stay in business. Mm-hmm. This has been a more and more challenging environment for places like Thyroid Refresh. And if we want to keep seeing, support platforms like this, then we need to support them. I mean, Danna and I do the same with several other things that we use, and it's just sort of part of our reality. So, okay, that's kind of heavy. Moving on to something lighter. Let's talk about our most favorite health trend of 2020. Mine, I would say, was sleep. Sleep as a priority. I love seeing this as a global conversation. There's nap bars where no one's using those places like that probably right now. But, when things go back closer to normal or our new normal or whatever, then these are places where professionals can go and relax and take a nap. Some places of work even provide a place to take a nap. But also just this dialogue on sleep hygiene, I feel, was long overdue. Especially as an American, and I know several other countries can relate to this, where our cultures are very achievement focused. And there was this feeling like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Sleep isn't a priority. It's all about achievement and go, go, go. And I feel like our culture really tapped the brakes on that and said, wait a minute, we need sleep.
Mm-hmm.
We need 7 to 9 hours a night of quality sleep. So maybe that's one silver lining. And I think we're going to touch on some silver linings here in just a bit.
Okay, so one of my least favorite trends, for me, the fact that I wear glasses, wearing a mask and your glasses on is really difficult. And I also suffer with aerobic induced asthma. And so it's one of my least favorite things. I don't breathe well. And when you have a mask on and you have your glasses, it fogs up your glasses when you're breathing and you can't see. And so I'm always adjusting and moving, and I've had all different kinds of masks. I've tried all different kinds of things. I know some of them stay more close to your nose, but then that feels more claustrophobic. I'm just one of those people. I don't like it. It just really makes me feel uncomfortable, makes me feel like I can't breathe. And so for me, one of my least favorite things has been masks because I have glasses. Now, when I have my contacts on, it's a lot different. But even still, I just don't like being that restricted and all that. So that's been one of my least favorite things. I know it's important. I know people have to do it and all of that stuff. I get it. It's just for me personally, it's been very difficult. So
it's been your bugaboo this year.
It has been my bugaboo.
You know what? That's legit to say this is uncomfortable and it fogs up my glasses. I'll be excited when we don't have to do this anymore.
Right. And so it really does, bother me. So when we're all mask free, I'm going to be a happier camper. Okay. And then for me, one of the funnest trends or best trends of the year has been our ability to laugh at ourselves and to be funny despite what's going on in the world. There's funny memes. There's people are inserting humor where they normally wouldn't have. And people are more relaxed and more authentic. You see people jumping online. I have been trying to be more present online so that people can see me in my life. And I am not always made up and all of that stuff. I brush my hair, I brush my teeth. If I have a bump, I'll put a little cover up on it, but that's about it. And I feel like people have been a lot more authentic in the Zoom calls. I think it's more fun, the whole party on top, pajama on bottom. There's so many fun memes out there. I love laughing. Laughter's good medicine. So for me, I feel like, it's been a little awkward and all that stuff. So for me, I really feel like people have learned to laugh more and to make fun of some of the stuff we're having to do because that's just normal, right? And so that's one of the things I like to laugh. And so for me, that's a really positive thing that's come out of it is being able to laugh at myself, being able to laugh at the way I look when I have my mask on. Sometimes I have the N95 and sometimes I have the cuter decorative one and sometimes I have the blue one. And I just look ridiculous and think I look ridiculous. There's even some fun masks that have big funny faces on them and stuff. And so for me, being able to make fun of ourselves and be authentic has been one of my most favorite trends.
There's some amazing memes. There have been so many great memes this year. And yeah, it's been fun to have little text threads with friends where we share those. And yeah, and you and I always like to keep it. I mean, we like to laugh,
Mm-hmm.
even in the face of our challenges. And it's not about making fun of, chronic illness or making light of it or denying the painful realities of that. But this is part of our life. And hey, you got to be able to laugh, right?
Yeah.
Even when the world seems so, I don't know, just crazy this year. Okay. Why don't we talk about some of the health and wellness predictions for 2021? We have some favorites. I'm excited about telemedicine.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, all of us getting a little more comfortable with things like Zoom, using some of these tools. You and I are lucky, Danna, in that this is our everyday. We've been on Zoom for years, and it was like, how come people still fly across the country for a meeting? Do we really need to be doing that? So, and sure, in some cases we do, but it's also, I think, great for the planet and for just us as a whole that we're more comfortable on using the incredible technological tools that we have. And telemedicine, I feel, is something that has a lot of potential to make healthcare and health and wellness and lifestyle support and all of that more accessible to people. One of the things we've seen a lot this year is at-home testing for thyroid patients. Now, we're friends and big fans of Paloma Health, and they offer at-home test kits for thyroid patients. And that's pretty exciting and especially useful in a time when so many of us are trying to avoid public places and, be safe, stay at home, all of that. And also we need to monitor those thyroid levels. They make it affordable, and it makes it easier for people to do. And that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. It's easy, it's accessible, it's inexpensive. It makes you feel like I can get my labs went more often, like you're supposed to, right? You need to be checking, depending on where you're at on your thyroid health journey, twice a year, once a year, every other month, whatever your doctor recommends. But, you had that whole, and the prick and the going and the medicinal and the feeling, you had that whole anxiety about all of it. Now it's just at home. You can just do it, finger prick, send it off, get your results. To me, it's an absolute no-brainer. And I have seen all kinds of things coming out with all different, besides just the important thyroid tests that we need as thyroid patients, but all different kinds of testing that you can do at home, gut health testing at home, and all kinds of stuff that you can just mail off. So for me, I think that's really exciting for what the future holds as far as that goes.
Especially if it can help us cut healthcare costs. That is a good thing.
Yes.
Some of the other favorite things or some of our, things we're most excited about for 2021, these trends that we see, I think a focus on mental health. This is another thing that's long overdue, and it's pertinent to thyroid patients. We're more prone to anxiety and depression, and we live with chronic illness, most of us. So glad to be seeing that conversation blossom. And also more diversity and inclusivity in health and wellness. I'm excited about that. We're excited about that as an organization, and just want to support that and continue supporting that in 2021.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned, Danna, just the point of new healing technologies that go beyond just things you ingest.
Right? There's all kinds of technology isn't going to go away. So as long as you're, balancing your life with technology, I think that it's not going to go away. So embracing it is important for our mental health especially, but the advancements and the technology that's out there, I think, is really invaluable and incredible. It feels like science fiction, even the device that I'm using. We say it sounds like science fiction, but it's just science. And it really is, because we're all energy and things. But there's all kinds of things coming out from like sensors and AI technology. And I know that this sounds a little woo-woo, but they're also doing some 3D printing of organs that already been used and implemented and helping people, already putting organs inside living things. I just think that's because, you get on the waiting list for the organ donors. And I think that's a neat thing. I don't know how far along they are, but I think that's a really cool thing that the future holds. So frequency healing, things you don't have to heal, and the use of, technology, AI, 3D, sensors. You can monitor yourself, send the information off. You can get all kinds of biological readings from watches and all kinds of sensors that you just put on your body that tell you so much about ourselves. So it's empowering.
Even just things like a Fitbit,
Right?
can be very empowering. I know I've used one, and you have an Apple Watch, right, that you use to track your health and wellness stats. I mean, those tools are game changers.
Yep. I've actually given my Apple Watch to my daughter, because I've got another with this company that I'm working with. They have a really advanced watch that's got some extra sensors and some things that you can do. So that's coming out soon. So I've already got Savannah on the Apple Watch, and I'm going to try this out and see what I think. So I'll keep you guys posted.
How about some, maybe not trends, but maybe some health and wellness silver linings that have come up because of the pandemic? What are some of
Um,
your favorite silver linings?
for me, they always said, my dad even said, a long time ago, um, the focus on immunity is really big. Taking the vitamin C, doing the things to build up your immune system, as opposed to not doing this, not doing that, putting the mask on or doing all the things, right? Which is important, but like focusing on the good, positive things you can do, preventative health for your body. I love that that's come from this, that we're focusing on time in nature, drink more water, and get more vitamin C, get more vitamin D, be out in the sun, do some things that are really good for your body as a preventative, because there are so many things coming at us daily. There is no way to keep up
Mhm.
unless you're living in some remote island, off the coast of I don't know where in a teepee. There's just no way to have all these things attacking our body on a daily basis. EMFs, pesticides, chemicals, all of it. Even if you're really organic and all that. So the focus on building up our immune systems is something we as thyroid patients need to do anyway. So
Mhm. Yeah, and I mean, well, there is obviously going to be those stories, and the focus on, COVID-19 symptoms, treatment, prevention, vaccines, all of that. It's also spurred that conversation about our overall wellness and how do we stay healthy, and how, especially when so many of us are under so much stress and we're more susceptible to illness, anxiety, all kinds of things that come from that stress. I think it's been a good wake up call in those ways. So yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. More focus on self care, mental health, wellness at home, things like the morning routine. Yeah, like you said, immunity. One of my favorite silver linings, I think, for all of us, is just that we're doing more cooking at home. I feel like
mhm.
that is such a good foundational thing. And well, I send love out there to so many favorite restaurants and things. I know how hard they're hurting right now, because we haven't so readily been able to dine out and things like that. We've been doing more cooking at home. And when I look back on, the last 12 months, how much cooking have I done at home? How much joy has been taken from sitting down at the table together as a family and sharing a good meal, even the ones that are just like, we don't want to go to the store. We're trying to limit our trips to the store, so let's scrounge, what do we got in the fridge? And sometimes it's just ends up like incredible. And to share food together, to cook food together, is, I think, is so imperative in the thyroid healthy lifestyle and in our health and wellness in general. So that just makes me smile to see so many of us doing more cooking at home. And then the last one I'll mention, I think, is just, I feel like in this conversation, we've talked so much about the conversation and the dialogues that are happening. And because of that, we're like continually dismantling taboos around certain topics like sex and money and death and addiction and all these things that come into play in the bigger picture, chronic illness, autoimmune conditions, what it's like for us. There's more understanding when we can have those conversations and dismantle those taboos. And I think that some of those huge issues thrive in darkness and silence. So the more we can shed light, on them, the more we can talk about them and bring them out into the open, the better, right?
Definitely, definitely.
Danna, I was thinking maybe we can wrap it up with a
Yeah.
review of what 2020 meant for thyroid refresh.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely been an interesting, challenging year. And of course, I think the most popular word for the year should be, if it isn't, is pivot.
Mm-hmm.
We have had to pivot. We are a small, woman-owned, mission-driven startup. And, our vision and hope for Thyroid Refresh is, of course, still the same, but we've had to change the way we look at it and change our lens, and we've had to pivot and, all that kind of stuff. So it's been a difficult, interesting, challenging, innovative year.
So much good has come of it. I mean, I can't even reflect without just feeling like, wow, we have really
Pivoting.
gotten lean and mean, and, we've been so creative. I'm so proud of what we've done as an organization.
Mm-hmm.
There is more to do. There will always be more to do. But yes, it's tough economic times for all businesses, especially for small businesses. It seems like, the businesses who are profiting right now are the huge behemoth ones, the Amazons and the things like that. And our small businesses are hurting. And sometimes I see from our, customer service emails and some of the feedback we get that there is a perception that we're like just this huge organization. And here we are, we're in our homes. This is Thyroid Refresh International Headquarters right here. You're looking at it. Right. I wear about 17 hats, and, we're also moms who are like homeschooling now and trying to keep the lights on so that we can continue providing this service. So we so appreciate our community. We so appreciate your support, the warm fuzzies you guys give us, and seeing the way that this helps. That is what fuels our fire and continues to. And we thank you for your support. It's been an incredible, challenging, enlightening, clarifying year. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that pivot though. So most of we have Thyroid 30, our 30-day wellness adventure that is designed to help people implement those thyroid healthy diet and lifestyle changes. And we love our Thyroid 30 community. It's such an incredible, intimate atmosphere. The cheerleading and the support and the life changes and the courage that goes on in there. It just, nothing lights me up more. Our membership also is comprised of incredible thyroid thrivers who really want, need, and celebrate the content that we provide for thyroid healthy living. Diet, lifestyle, workouts, healing meditations, breath work, our podcast, our printable resources, our bundles. They're all the things that we want and need as thyroid patients to stay this course, because it does take effort every single day. You and I, Danna, it takes effort to stay on the thyroid healthy path and to make the best choices for our health. And we're on that path now with all of our Thyroid 30 thrivers, all of our Thyroid Refresh members. And it's a joyous, beautiful thing. So we have those things, the membership in Thyroid 30. Our biggest pivot this year has been the addition of courses. So
it's been amazing, truly.
We added 4 new courses this year, which has helped us keep the lights on. So thank you to all of you who have supported us by signing up for some of our courses. Why don't we go through the menu really quick? There's just 4 and we can keep it short.
Well, the Thyroid 30 Tune-Up, which is co-branded with us and Mary Showman, is truly invaluable. It's such a deep dive into all the good things you need to know as, being a thyroid patient. And she left nothing out, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it is a full quality course. It's very inexpensive. If I'd have had this for this price, especially when I got diagnosed. I say that all the time about all the things that we create for Thyroid 30, and that's what keeps driving me. But that's the truth. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's so specific, and it includes everything that you need to know. It's just truly an amazing course. And we love our Mary Showman. She's spectacular. So,
She's amazing. And yeah, I think quintessential is the
yes,
word I think of with Thyroid 30 tune-up. This is
quintessential.
the quintessential course. And I
It
love
is.
that it filled a gap in our offerings for
Mm-hmm.
people who were like, but I really kind of need to know more from a thyroid expert about what do I need to know?
Right.
That goes beyond just, recipes and meditations and lifestyle and things like that. And of course, we have tons of, amazing thyroid specific doctors and health expert contributors on our site. But Mary put together this package that gives you everything you need to know in 3 1-hour videos and a 130-page ebook called the Thyroid 30 Tune-Up. And that also comes with a free pass to Thyroid 30. So when people come to us and say, oh my gosh, I was just diagnosed and I don't know where to begin, or they come to us and say, I've been struggling with this for 25 years and I'm just now finding out that there's more to this than just TSH testing and levothyroxine alone. There's more to it. What do I need to know? Here you go. This is where you start. Start with this course. It's, this is like the big time kaboom, what you need to know as a thyroid patient, your whole education packed into Mary's signature, no nonsense, no fluff, no wasting of time. We're going to get right to the point, and this is what you need to know. So that's the Thyroid 30 Tune-Up, and that's probably our biggest, most heavy hitting offering. And then of course, so many of us aren't going to the gym anymore, or our gyms are closed, and we're doing home workouts. So we created the thyroid friendly home workout kit because so many of us come to find that we have specific challenges as thyroid patients when it comes to trying to stay active. We have to be mindful of our adrenals. We have to be mindful of physical complications like frozen shoulder, like hypermobility, like tissue laxity, soft tissue laxity, and all these kinds of things. Some of us find I can't do the super high intensity workouts I used to do. So we had all these amazing thyroid friendly workouts that we compiled in the thyroid friendly workout kit. And that also tells people, it educates them on what do you need to know as a thyroid patient about exercise, thyroid friendly exercise, adrenal friendly exercise. How do you find, that Goldilocks, those Goldilocks workouts that aren't too much and aren't too little, but are just right for you? And how do you move through that? So we're not saying, oh, you should just not do, any kind of intense workouts, but maybe we can be more mindful about how we work our way up more slowly, more gently, and with more patience with our bodies so that we don't end up doing more harm than good. So that's
and
all
all
in
the things that we curated were so intentional, and we've got such a great diverse program from yoga, strength, and we've got a bar program in there. We've got Tai Chi, Qigong. We've got some dance stuff in there. We've got some kettlebell exercises. And what's so great about the courses for me is the membership is fantastic and the Thyroid 30 is fantastic. And you definitely need those because it's such a whole community. But you can do these as a one-off. You can have these ready to go on your computer, just push the button and go. You can gift it to other people. And especially, this is the gift giving time of year, these one-off courses, it's so neat to be able to purchase this for somebody, right? And I love that we have some courses that you don't have to be a member, right? You don't have to be a member if you don't want to, or if you were a member for 4 years and you are getting really pretty well and you are, moving on to other things, but you still want to have some of the content at the ready. These one-off courses are fantastic. So I'm really proud that we did that.
We very intentionally price them affordably for those who don't want a monthly subscription to all this content. They just want the one-off thing that they can have and utilize. And the workout kit is a great example of that. We do have a free course, the levothyroxine deep dive, which was another collaboration with Mary Showman. And she got an educational grant to
Mhm.
do this course on levothyroxine. Now, some people say, oh, I'm not on levothyroxine now, I'm on Synthroid. Just to clarify, levothyroxine does refer to any kind of synthetic T4 medication. So that includes your Synthroid, your Tyrosine, your generic levothyroxine, and so forth. And no agenda here with, encouraging people to take levothyroxine over things like Nature-Throid, which are NDT or natural desiccated thyroid medications. Mary just wanted to help educate people about the different options for levothyroxine, the different brands, how they differ, what kind of excipients and fillers they use, how you can save money on them. She has several very practical tips for how you can save money on your prescription, what to do when your medication isn't agreeing with you, or, all those troubleshooting tips. So that's a free one.
It could also help you, determine, you're on levothyroxine. Here's all about it. And it can give you some insight. Maybe it's not the right thing for you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, maybe
right.
You just learning all about it is definitely a good thing, because you're going to be trying different things and doing different things. This is definitely a journey. So I think, whether you're, taking a natural desiccated thyroid or Synthroid or Tyrosine, it's a great course for everybody, because it's good to learn. It's good to know what the difference is and why it's different.
I learned a ton from it, and just want to, finish by pointing out that we're not just going to focus on levothyroxine. Mary has been working on trying to get a second educational grant. I think she might even be underway on it. I'm not sure, but there are plans to come out with a NDT deep dive so that we can cover both, but it's just pure education and empowering information for people to know. So, I mean, levothyroxine it's always like in the top, I've heard different. Some people say, oh, it's the number one most prescribed drug, or it's the second or the third. It's up there. It's in the top 3 most prescribed drugs in the country. So all the more reason for us to know what we're taking, how it works, and if it's not working for us, maybe look at why. And then, very exciting, this is our last one, our newest, latest, and greatest course. Very apropos for the time that we're in. We put together a care package for you guys to address the need to manage our stress. And it's called the Calm Kit. Don't we all need a little bit of calm this year?
We do.
So we're wrapping up the year with that brand new offering. We very intentionally tried to get that out in time for the holidays. One of the most stressful times of year within one of the most stressful years of all time.
Right. Yes, of all time.
So we've got everything you could possibly need in there to get your stress relieving quick fix, from breathwork videos to healing meditations to soothing recipes to relaxing movement videos. We threw in a bonus bedtime bundle because we talked about the importance of sleep, right? All the self-care in the world cannot make up for the negative impacts of quality sleep. So there's all kinds of printables and articles and information, education about why stress management and self-care is important. This is another, silver lining, happy health trend. I love the conversation that's going on about self-care. Self-care is not selfish. It is essential. I think we've all learned that this year beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Yes, we have.
We wanted to end this year on a very nurturing, restorative, rejuvenative note with the Calm Kit. So we're really excited to be able to offer that to you guys. Why don't we quickly wrap it up with some of our goals for 2021?
Yes, definitely. We have a few things that we're going to be definitely working on. I know Ginny is going to get in behind the scenes and focus on a real world thyroid healthy cooking maybe series, but definitely a couple of videos and different themes because that's special requested by a couple of the insiders like me who want some help in the kitchen. And so we're really, really excited to offer some of those new courses, and can't wait because Ginny, of course, is cordon bleu trained chef, and so we've got to utilize her.
Well, I sort of have to chuckle about the whole cordon bleu trained chef because really what I do anymore is just healthy home cooking. And I think one thing I've gotten good at,
you know how to make it
I
taste
do. That's the
good.
thing. I've got the secret chef knowledge and those
Right.
little tricks and hacks that are simple. But I'm a busy working mom and business owner with a chronic health condition who needs to eat whole foods like so many of you. And so I think one thing that I've developed my Jedi skills at is just making it simple and not, geez, when I look at the way I used to cook, I mean, I would happily spend the entire day or 2 days in the kitchen getting ready for a dinner party. I don't do that anymore. I have to feed myself and my family 3 meals a day. So we're talking about techniques that are quick. I mean, and those techniques and ratios and things where you don't need a recipe. You don't have to even print something out. It's just like, I know how to do this. I can look in my fridge and say, what needs to be used up? What can I eat? What sounds good? And let's put it on a sheet pan or let's, put together a homemade vinaigrette or let's make a breakfast hash with these things, all kinds of simple techniques. So I'm excited to be focusing on more of those offerings in 2021. I also just want to add that, we as an organization, one of our goals for 2021 is to put more time and resources toward inclusivity and diversity. This is a value and has been for us from day one. And it's been really interesting, hasn't it, Danna, in building this, to see things like in our stock images, how intentional we have to be, how much time we have to put into sleuthing out images of diverse skin tones, ethnicities, ages, body types, gender orientations, all kinds of things, that you wouldn't necessarily think about, and this is how we change the world from a small, what happens under our own roofs. So we want our community to know that that is a value. It always has been. It will continue to be. Can we do more? Yes. Do we need to do more? Yes. Does the health and wellness industry need more inclusivity and diversity? 100%. That is a goal that I am excited about being able to hopefully put, more time and resources towards in 2021. And also, just for our members, we always try and this is the time of year when we discuss our upgrades to Thyroid Refresh membership, which we typically roll out in the spring around our birthday. This March will be our 3rd birthday, which is very exciting.
Yep.
We're toddlers.
Yeah. Jeez. Feels like we should be running and driving and man.
Yeah. Woo. Are we going to be 3-nagers?
We're going to be 3-nagers. Yeah.
Anyway, so we're discussing major upgrades to Thyroid Refresh membership. I'll leave it at that. It's going to have to just be a little bit of a teaser there for you guys. But to all of our members and to anyone interested in membership, we do always try and find new ways to serve our community, to empower, support, and inspire you guys. So always, always more to do, right? All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here with us today. The last 2020 episode of Thyroid Refresh TV. We are ready for a new year, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
A healthier year and so much positive change for all people for the good of Mother Earth. Danna, what do you say we end the show with a moment of silence for all the lives lost and affected by this incredibly difficult year?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, guys, stay strong, stay resilient, stay safe, stay healthy, and let's all hold the vision for a more thyroid healthy 2021. We wish you all a very happy, healthy new year. You can find us online at thyroidrefresh.com or follow our Thyroid Refresh Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube pages. You can learn more about Thyroid 30 and Thyroid Refresh membership on our website, thyroidrefresh.com. And as we always end the show, just with this reminder, you do have the power to heal. And we have the tools.
Yep. And if you've enjoyed this podcast and would like to help us continue inspiring and empowering thyroid patients worldwide, please leave us a review on iTunes. It would so make our day, because you guys, you are what makes this community the amazing resource it is. And we so appreciate you and your listenership and your support. And again, we're Danna and Ginny, and we're wishing you the best of health. We'll see you guys next time and in the new year.
See you next year, guys.
Bye.
Mwah.